So I will be speaking on Indian medicinal plant sector challenges and opportunities. Again, I am presenting this presentation on behalf of National Medicinal Plants Board, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Definitely, I will be speaking of some of the schemes of the board which are now available in the country. And recently, we have started a new scheme of an integrated model of doing cultivation at a cluster level, going for value addition, processing, and all that. So I will be talking to you all on all these aspects. So I'll just refer one famous quotation that comes from Ashtang Sangraha, that is Bhagavad, which is popularly known as. So this has written as Uchito Yasya Deshasya Tajyam Tasya Aushadamitam. So this is an important quote saying that कि जो आदमी जहां जन्म लेता है उसको होने वाली बीमारियों का जो सोल्यूशन है, उसके जो समाधान है, वो उसके आसपास ही मिलते हैं. The medicines locally available in immediate surroundings will be suitable for the person, for the patient of the particular area, even if he resides in other places. The medicines of similar origin and properties should be used for him. You know what we are talking of आज की डेट में in the today's context we are talking of village ecological system or ecology and whatnot. So all these things, they have been well defined in Atharvaveda. So this quotation says that the locally available resources are always important for the patients or for the diseases they occur in a particular area. Even if you see the disease burden of this country or even your particular area, you will find that majority of the medicinal plants which are found in that area, they may be useful or they are always useful in treating certain diseases. It's not 100%, but 60 to 70% diseases. You speak of waterborne diseases, you speak of other diseases, so they are treatable with the locally available resource. So this is one part we are talking of. If you see 80% of world's population that depends on medicinal plants for their healthcare needs, because they are affordable and accessible even to the poor people. And let me tell you, Ayush. So you may be knowing Ayush, this is a ministry which came into being in 2014, just after Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji became Prime Minister of India. Earlier, before to this formation of this new ministry, Ayush was the department. It was Department of Indian Systems of Medicine or Department of Ayurveda under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And it is interesting to tell you that only 3 to 4% of the total budget of healthcare of this country was given to this system. And this is first time that Ayush system in 2014 started getting Prime Minister announced one national Ayush mission and 5,000 crores of rupees were given for the for running or promoting these Ayush systems in this country. A stands for Ayurveda, Y for Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani for U for Unani, S for Siddha, and H for Homeopathy. You know, one new system has been recently introduced, that is Swarigpa. So Swarigpa is a system which is practiced in Lahore Spiti area of Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh area. Popularly, the practitioners of this system are known as Amchi there. So locally we call it Bhod system of medicine. And now the refined form you can see as a Tibetan system of medicine. So in addition to that, there is a knowledge which passes from generation to generation that we call, I personally call it as a Lok Ayurveda. And it is now had got very good attention now, and people have started thinking to conserve this as medicinal plants. They are becoming most interesting fact in the field of agriculture. Secondly, plant-based medicines have their holistic and preventive healthcare values along with their nutritional values. I would like to highlight two things here. They may be interesting for you because 2017 December and 2018 December, two new notifications they were placed they were passed by the Lok Sabha or the concerned statutory agencies. 44 medicinal plants, they were brought under FSSAI, Food Standards Authority of India. The benefit of that was that 440 medicinal plants can be processed and sold as food supplements. Secondly, one can go for nutraceutical preparation out of these medicinal plants. Second amendment which came into being was of the phytomedicine. So if you are able to prove certain molecules, certain phytoconstituents in a combination of herbs, not less than 3, then you can list that medicine under phytomedicine. So this is different of the Ayush medicine. So due to the statutory requirements, these were the new things which has been recently happened. And if you see the raw material basis, medicinal plants they form the major resource base. 90% of the indigenous healthcare traditions, whatever we are talking of now, they are based on medicinal plants, and this is a unexplored potential area to work in future. And you see, what is traditional medicine? Important is basically knowledge of plant genetic resources and traditional cultural expressions. One thing which is very much interesting, that global demand of traditional medicine and associated products has risen significantly, and protection of plant genetic resources and traditional cultural expression, languages, health practices, rituals, customs, religious practices, and protection practices of natural resources has got attention now. People have started thinking seriously on these things. And you see, there is a threat now, because the knowledge holder of this traditional knowledge, or the knowledge providers, they are vulnerable to misappropriation now, because they are at one side facing challenges of sustainability. On the other side, there is a threat of the stealing of the knowledge by the so-called scientific community, you can say. To protect that all, National Biodiversity Act came into being in 2002. In 2014, Nagoya Protocol just attracted the country's attention that protection, excess and benefit sharing, ABS, this is actually required. And the reason was that anything which is grown or cultivated from the nature, from the wild, collected from the wild, is required to be brought under this excess benefit sharing. That means the certain percentage of the royalty should go back to the communities. This is a serious issue which was taken up by the governments. And as a result, this policy came into being, National Intellectual Property Rights Policy 2016. Great impetus on commercial value of traditional medicine knowledge was given on that. If you see the global demand of medicinal plants, we were just observing, observing the journey from 2000 to 2015. It was projected that the average expected rise in this medicinal plants raw material demand globally was rising with an rise of 7% per annum. And we were expecting that in 2050, it will become a US 5 trillion economy. But surprisingly, this has multiplied post-COVID situation. During COVID, huge demand has been received from not only within India, but outside India also. And this has grown to 35 to 37% now. So this is a huge growth which has been observed in this sector, which is highest ever in the last 100 years, you can say. So, and if you see the demand side of this sector, we are using in Indian systems of medicine, we are using around 2,500 species. Ayurveda, we use around 1,587. Siddha, 1128. You may be knowing Siddha system of medicine. See, all these systems are around 4,000 to 5,000 years old. Siddha is practiced in Dravidian culture. So mostly it is practiced in Tamil Nadu and surrounding areas. The practitioners of medicine which practice Siddha medicine, it's a specific way of processing medicine. They are known as Siddhars. Unani is again using 503 species. Swarigpa is using 253 species. Swarigpa, again, I told you the system which is practiced in Ladakh area and has a system placed under Tibetan government in exile in Dharamshala and in various parts of the country, or even other countries also. They mostly use Himalayan medicinal plants. So these 253 species, if I speak of, they are most Himalayan and the species which come under the category of rare, endangered, and threat. They are important plants. Homeopathy, we are using 468 species. In Western medicine, in allopathic system medicine, 192 species are there, which finds their way for the manufacturing of medicines there. Now, you may be interesting to know that what are the segments actually where this herbal raw material actually goes. If I speak of Indian herbal market, one segment is we are using this raw material in Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathic formulations. And new jargon, new activity, new this thing has come, wellness. So this In the wellness segment, if you see the oils, if you see the various other nutritious herbal compounds which are being manufactured, so they come under this category. Phyto botanical medicine, I told you, new categories has come in. So proprietary ethical OTC medicines, for example, Leaf 52, you may be knowing. So they all consume number of raw materials which are even collected from the wild, and now it is being now cultivated. Then comes herbal cosmetic, herbal teas and functional foods, nutraceutical food supplements, Ayurvedic ahar. See, this is a new category which has been very recently announced. In 2022 June, Honorable Prime Minister, under a global investors meet which was happened in Ahmedabad, he declared a new category of Ayurvedic food. See, this has happened because outside India, when the studies were done, you may have seen a lot of papers, those have been published in nutraceutical and food popular journals, that the death rate which occurred in India, when it was compared with US and European countries, the death rate in India was less, despite the fact we don't have much well-knit network of healthcare services if we compare it with US and all. So everyone came to know that it was typical and precious ahar, food of Indian communities. This and as well as the ingredients which Indians use to make, particularly spices. So if I speak of the raw material which we consume in Ayurvedic industry, 48% raw material is in the shape of the spices. So the spices, they are ingredient of Ayurvedic medicine as well. So keeping in view all these things, this new category has been introduced under food safety, standard safety, this thing, FSSAI. Now, any entrepreneur can start a business of making Ayurvedic ahar. And it's an interesting subject. What is Ayurvedic ahar? Again, the culinary food we are using, the food which is mentioned in Ayurveda, the Rasayana solutions or the nutritional food which has been mentioned in Ayurveda, classical books of Ayurveda. And interesting to note that around 78 classical books of Ayurveda, they have been listed for the formulations taken from those books can be taken for preparation of Ayurvedic ahar. You see, this is an area where we can do a lot of work, we can do a lot of entrepreneurship, business, startups. We can take formulations from them, we can validate them, we can infuse technology, we can retort the certain foods, we can go for certain fortifications in the food, then we can take it to the market, international market. Sky is the limit for extracts, phytochemicals, resins and gums is another area. It's a big segment. You may be knowing about Acacia nilotica, kicker, which is popularly found in Punjab or other plains areas. You may be knowing that some resin is taken out of this kicker, but you may not be knowing that this resin, kicker resin, is the largest selling laxative in US. I recently saw a report of US FDA. They have permitted it to be consumed for removal of constipation because 99% it get dissolved in water, and this is a very potent constipation removal ingredient. So similarly, I was recently referring US FDA. Opuntia, you may be knowing about. Opuntia is a weed, is a plant which is a cactus which we hardly use it. It has very interesting flower on the top of it. So what they are doing is they are separating one molecule out of Opuntia, and for fast weight reduction, they're using the extract of this plant. So number of species are there which are finding their ways to market out of India. You take example of guar gum, Google, a number of plants are there. And another segment is flavors and fragrances. Then is aromatic oils and aromatherapy, culinary herbs and spices. I already told you. Veterinary medicine, veterinary herbal products is there. So it's a big segment again. And Ministry of Ayush has come up with a first formulary of veterinary medicine. And if I speak of classical Ayurvedic books and texts, there is a branch independently dealing with veterinary healthcare that is known as Ashu Ayurveda. On the other side, if you go to the rural areas, still there are practitioners, there are healers who are expert in treating veterinary healthcare. They're skilled in that. So, and in most of the cases, the first preference of the communities in the villages for veterinary care is those healers who actually prepare medicines based on the herbal raw material. Now, I'll take to a small journey of the value chain components of this sector, which will again throw some light on the possibilities, challenges, or the areas where this course can actually help. This is the entrepreneurship who are here, who are attending this course. They may think of starting something new, innovative, or some new startup or something like that. So I will be speaking about, this is a line which deals with the medicinal plant sector. Above side, I am talking of wild collection. Wild collection means the plants which are collected from the wild. They are not cultivated. Downside, I will be talking of cultivation. Let us deal first issue of wild collection. You know what has happened? The 2,500 species I mentioned in my previous slide, as I told you, 75 to 80% collection is done from the wild. And you see this, the practice of collection for raw material for medicinal plants from the wild is basically unsustainable harvesting. So people are not following the rules or the requirements which are actually needed to sustainably harvest these species. They are extracting number of medicinal herbs before time. They are not letting them to regenerate themselves. They are harvesting them before time. So the result has been that if I speak of Himalayan region, Uttarakhand, Himachal, and so on, so around 56 species of medicinal plants, they have entered into the category of IUCN list of rare, endangered, and threatened category. So this is an alarming stage. And similarly, other species also. If I take example of Punjab or Madhya Pradesh or Haryana and all that, certain medicinal plants are there which are found, which are even considered weeds there, but still they are collected or gathered by the people. You take example in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, or the tribal people who are there involved into that. So dealing with this situation and to cope up with the species, to reduce the species which are going under the category of RET, Ministry of Ayush and National Medicinal Plants Board introduced a GFCP scheme. This is a scheme for, these are the protocols for good field collection practices. So National Medicinal Plants help the farmers, farmer groups, farmer producer companies to come forward to go for GFCP certification. This is a voluntary certification scheme initiated by National Medicinal Plant Board, where we are helping the Quality Council of India. We are helping farmers to get the benefit of this scheme free of cost. So they are provided training and on-site verifications are done. And in the last certificate is issued for a wild collected species, which is harvested in India. They are speaking of traceability. They want to know where it was grown, from where it was collected. Do the communities have the rights to collect them, or are they dealing with the sustainability issues and all that? So all these things, they are that is taken care by the ministry. And last thing which we are taking care is basically now, as far as I feel, the last resort remains that the collection from the wild, it should be rest with only biodiversity management committees. So these are the committees which have been constituted by state biodiversity boards under the umbrella of National Biodiversity Authority to have a control on the bioresources so that they are harvested sustainably, and the people, they get the excess benefit sharing, or as well as they preserve their forests or they preserve their private lands. If I speak of collection side, so there are again one protocol which is taken care by our office also, that is good agricultural practices. So for certain species, we have come out with a agro techniques of around 106 species. National Medicinal Plants deals with 140 species. Earlier, we used to provide subsidy to cultivate these medicinal plants, but now it's not been done. Now this has been taken back by the ministry. Thank you. But there are other schemes. Now one integrated scheme has come in, as I told earlier. So the GAP and GFCP are the two protocols. Again, I would like to tell you that these are done with the Quality Council of India, and any farmer can take benefit of them. And GAPs are mandatory. This certificate is mandatory if you are interested to export any of your cultivated medicinal produce outside India. So, and this GAP and GFCP protocols, they are based on WHO GFCPs and GAPs. So the standards are according to WHO. So, and there are two most interesting areas in the sector of medicinal plants, because most of the people, I'm sure, attending this course, they are from the agriculture side. See, we are facing big challenge of QPM, quality and elite planting material, as far as the medicinal plant sector goes. Yeah, call it cultivars and varieties. Of course, they are linked. So this is one area where any entrepreneurship can think to start, can select the list of the medicinal plants which are appropriate to the specific agroclimatic zone, and he can think to start production of quality planting material. He may use vegetative measures, he may think of seeds, he may think of biotechnology, he may think of anything, but the utter target may be the provision of quality and elite planting material to the people who are interested in cultivation. Let me tell you 2-3 examples here. We are dealing with the cultivation of ashwagandha and sarapgandha. So, ashwagandha everyone knows, but sarapgandha is a RET species, Wolfia serpentina. So, we are promoting its variety SR1. So, this we have recently promoted around 100 acres of area in northern region of this country. So, the production of quality planting material is an interesting area. The entrepreneur, the lady which we promoted to go for production of quality planting material, you will surprise that last year she did a business of 70 lakhs out of this. So you can imagine how fast the smart farming or the agriculture scenario is changing, and people are shifting to crops which are less in volume, high in price. So there are a number of species, those can be selected based on the agroclimatic conditions of a particular area, and accordingly one can think of starting planting material business based on the demand of that. And second thing which I would like to finish here is National Medicinal Plants Board, as this regional center in northern region, we are in touch with number of buyers actually. So even I would just give a call to just agriculture also, that we can have certain buyer seller deals. Under Contract Farming Act, we can bring certain buyers who can pay. First of all, let us fix up the price of the crop, and then let us enter into some MOU, and then let us go for large scale cultivation. Here again, I would like to highlight that there are certain cases of harvest time seasonality I referred earlier. There is one serious question of quality control. So I personally feel that there is a conflict between MSP and I say another MSP. That is minimum support price versus maximum selling price. See, number of people who are attending this course. So please just think seriously that if a farmer, if he goes for a established specific chemotype or genotype of a specific plant, and he goes for cultivation with that specific plant, and he is successful to raise those cultivations with a specific phytoconstituents in it, and he succeeds to do that. And you see, if the vidanoids in a particular ashwagandha crop, which is harvested recently, is higher than the routine or without any cultivar if someone is growing, so definitely that should fetch higher price for that. So our say on that, our call is on that let us think of maximum selling price to the farmers, and we are in a process to actually think on making an assessment of the quality of the produce which was done, which may be cultivated in a field based on spectrometry and NIR technology. So we are in a process to start an on-site quality assessment, quality certification of the crop, so that can be put for auction globally, e-auction globally on a virtual platform, and so that the farmers, they can get good price for their good quality produce. So because quality control is a major issue in this sector, because as I told you, there are 10,000 pharmaceutical companies operational in this country. They consume the entire raw material. and to approach them, to provide them good quality planting material, all these things are to be better plugged in a scientific manner. We have succeeded to link this with the converging with the existing government of India schemes or the regional schemes. So with Manrega and all that, we have succeeded to bring cultivation of medicinal plants under Manrega. One can go to the collector of the district and then to the BDO of that particular area, and they can just go in the Gram Sabha, and they can ask them to issue a master roll for cultivation of medicinal plants under Manrega. To refer that, you need to go to our website, nmpb.nic.in. You will find a MOU between Ministry of Rural Development and National Medicinal Plant Board, Ministry Ayush. So using that, 60 medicinal plant species, they have been shortlisted for cultivation under Manrega. But certain deputy commissioners under Manrega Samagra, they can even relax the species. So local need-based species, if they are in demand, they can be taken under this category. The objective is how the cultivation of medicinal plants actually contribute to year-long livelihood assurance. So this is one part. Second part comes for the post-harvest management. Lot of challenges are there and lot of opportunities are there. Again, we are in a process to set up collection centers, Mandi network. One thing which I would like to tell you, just visit our website again, download our guidelines of CSS scheme. You will find that establishment of collection centers, drying storage sheds, cultivation, nursery, and all that. Now, one new scheme is there, integrated scheme. If you download the recent guidelines of our from our website, so just go to the page number 46. You will find the description of the scheme. So one can go for establishment of clusters for cultivation of medicinal plant. And if you further see the guidelines, we believe that the smaller size of the cluster should be 5 acres. It should be spread in a radius of 15 kilometers. So you can see how liberal is the scheme. You can think of going for setting up of a cluster for cultivation of medicinal plants, primary processing, post-harvest management, and value addition. All these things are covered there. And the financial support can go up to 1.2 crores. Yeah, it can be 1 crore 20 lakhs. So just go through the guidelines. Everything is very clearly defined. If you feel any difficulty, you can anytime contact us in that case. At the farmers part, we are even eager to look into for technological interventions, sorting ke liye, grading, drying, storage, transportation, etc. This is a gray area, my friends, let me tell you. You see, we have received a huge demand from companies or individuals outside India. Even the European or the Americans, they are very crazy to buy our crude raw material. They are interested to buy ashwagandha roots. They are interested to buy extracts, resins, and gums. And let me tell you one interesting thing. The first unicorn of Ayush, KMG 66 ashwagandha, is in big demand in US and America, in European countries. You see, in the recent past, a very huge hike has been found in nutraceuticals post-COVID situation, and ashwagandha tops them all. Ashwagandha, you see that in the last 6 months, the growth of ashwagandha has been at the rate of 145%. Again, ashwagandha, making ashwagandha the top selling nutraceutical in the world. So you can imagine if you go for specific R&D, specific establishment, or even if you go for end-to-end solution, if you go for traceability, you cultivate your product, you value add it, you convert into a nutraceutical food supplement or Ayush product, and then you sell it. You see, globally, people are interested to go for buying with traceability and quality. So I think this is the key take-home message, that we should, even if you are interested in this sector, we can think to go for end-to-end solution, right from cultivation to marketing part. So we are into regulatory affairs also, trade regulation also. We are recommending certain policies and all that. We are into value addition also. So we tell people how to value add the products, how to make them more valuable. So even semi-processing, product development, all that is taken care at our center. And as I told you, we operate in northern region. So we have MOUs and agreements with number of institutions like IHBT Palampur, IIIM Jammu, all other universities, central universities. where technological support can be taken. If you approach us, we can recommend you which can be an appropriate agency for you to connect with. Even pan India also, not an issue if you are from Karnataka or if you are from Andhra Pradesh. We are there used to support you, and we have our partner regional centers. Those are operating. We have total 7 partner centers in India. This is the 7th one. This is Northern Region, 1 center. So similarly, for as I told you, the category of food supplements and Ayurvedic Ahar, we are facilitating entrepreneurship and startups through one incubation center, and you can think of certain innovative ideas under startup scheme. You can even think to start some startup related to this sector. We are into drug development also. We help the healers and the people who have outstanding traditional knowledge with them. So we help them to go for R&D and validation, or even go for toxicity and cell line study, so that they can even achieve the goal of developing a specific drug or something else. We have an online marketing platform. One can download it from Google Play Store. This is eChark online. So one can go for eChark, eChark.in, e-charak, as you are seeing here. So this is a website also. Interesting fact about this is that whatever I talked about, that the agro techniques of medicinal plants, you can download 3 volumes from there. You can get to know what are the agro techniques available. As I told you, we deal with 140 species. So simply you can get information about all these things. The scheme related to GFCP, GAP, you can download it from each other. You can download this application and get yourself registered. This is a website as well. And interestingly, we are providing mandi rates of the medicinal herbs which are sold in various mandis in India. So we are updating rates of that in our website. You can refer from them also. So there is a very good ecosystem in this country on startups and entrepreneurship. You can go to any incubation center with your idea. You can discuss your ideas with us. If you feel, we can let you know what can be the USP of yours. We are always there to help you in this case. My incubation center, you can always interact with us. So if I speak of the key stakeholders, we work with cultivators, collectors, supply chain intermediaries, industry, policymakers, research institutes, ISM practitioners, folk healers, international community. Cultivator, collector, yes. Common man, yes. Youth, yes. Women, yes. All other stakeholders we are working with. As I told you, 72% they are sourced from wild, and then 22% of the raw material which is consumed in this industry. The total volume is around 6 lakh metric ton. And you see, we have observed a stagnation in this consumption of raw material in Ayush industry, because same amount of raw materials that has been started consumption in nutraceutical and food supplement industry, and now we are facing a rise in food Ayurvedic Ahar also. So wild collection, cultivation, and yes, we are importing around 15 species outside India. We are getting them, and again. So if you see here, system-wise classification and consumption. So 1,178. These are the traded species, and 242 number of species are there in big demand, and the demand is more than 100 metric ton per year. These are 2014-15 figures. So now figures, they may be changed now as there is a huge rise in the demand. This is our voluntary certification scheme, as told you, GFCP and GAPs. This is available on our website and that application. So if I tell you the key thrust areas, our first area is conservation. It's not only cultivation, but we do promote conservation in forest, private forest, or anyone who is interested to conserve a specific species. To conserve this and promote cultivation, every year, National Medicinal Plants Board starts a campaign. This year, we are promoting ashwagandha at a large scale. We have given a number of projects to the agencies, universities, and government departments. They are promoting saplings of ashwagandha and information and knowledge about ashwagandha. So then cultivation, yes, we are into cultivation. I told you 140 species are there. You can find details on our website. Research and development is another area. Quality assurance, marketing and trade, training and information education communication, and then international cooperation. So I'll just focus on research priorities. we are actually interested to further work on multiplication of rare, endangered, and threatened plants. One can do through tissue culture, vegetative measures, anything. And we are interested to make monographs and medicinal plants databases, bioactivity guided fractional studies. Yes, we are interested to do that. And then comes the sustainable harvesting, post-harvest management, intercropping, chemical and molecular profiling, then quality planting material, germplasm and genotype identification and conservation, authentication and standardization of crude drugs, finding out substitute for RAT. These are some of the areas under the component of R&D. You can visit our website, go to nmpb.nic.in, then go to center sector schemes and just go through all our segments of scheme. You will find further details. What other activities can be taken under research and development? Agro technology. You see what we are talking of. Recently, I was in University of Baba Farid University of Health Sciences in Faridkot, Punjab. So a new interesting this term has come out, that was agriculture medicine. Because without having handshaking with agriculture, medicinal plants people cannot achieve anything, because to meet out the rising demand of raw material of medicinal plants, it must go to the people who are into agriculture. So let us start this thing, let us start new thing, let us start, or even if you have experiences, let us share them to take this idea further. This is about our marketing intervention each year. We do have a national helpline, 1800-120-5778. This is a national helpline. And similarly, you can just visit eCherak.in, NMPB helpline, and you can register yourself. And you can get any information about value chain, medicinal plants, nursery, quality planting material, cultivation, plant this protection, post-harvest management, marketing, etc. So this is run by the headquarter, and any calls related to us will be shifted to us. This is a small journal we bring out monthly. This is a magazine, 8-page magazine in Hindi. So we share good experiences and failures in medicinal plant sector to motivate farmers and youth, so that they learn good things about it. So these are some of the cultivars developed by various agencies. So you can find them out. So it will be listed shortly on our website as well. Seeds, yes, we are interested into exchange of seeds of medicinal plants of good quality germplasm. So number of areas can be there to work on this in future. From the entrepreneurship and even startup idea, these are some of the activities which can be done. As I told you about clusters, as self-help groups, farmer producer companies, they can come together to approach these clusters and approach our office to go for getting financial support for this or any technical support. Yes, we are thinking of even we have in pipeline setting up establishing collection centers and regional mandis to facilitate the produce of the farmers and the industry. Sustainable livelihood opportunities, youth and women, I told you earlier. Startup ecosystem schemes, Atal Innovation Yojana, MSME. We have an MOU with the Ministry of MSME also. So you can take advantage of all these schemes. Convergence, dovetailing of the schemes. There are schemes under bilateral funding also in various states. Those can be approached for this. So these are the three important plants I would like to share with you. Information on Ephedra geraniana. This is Somlata. It is believed that this is the same Somlata. The Somras, the gods they used to drink. So that was probably prepared out of this plant. This is a plant which is found in high altitude area, cold desert area. Ephedrine is taken out of it, but this is a plant which is consumed by the industry in Ayush system. Then comes the next plant is Sivak thorn. So this is again the plant of cold desert area. It's a complete food. It's a highly nutritious plant. The berries, lay berries, is known as lay berry also. Second plant is this Ginkgo biloba. This is a oldest fossil plant of this universe. Although it's a Chinese plant, but the extract of leaves is used in Alzheimer's disease and other geriatric diseases, memory loss, and all that. So we are promoting cultivation of these plants as well, including ashwagandha, Picrorhiza curua, all Himalayan plants which are in big demand are in the category of RET.